back to Jamia's Promo, and today we'll be talking about sleeping apps versus deep sleeping apps. So if you just recently updated your Samsung phone to the Samsung One UI 2.1 and you just noticed this option of deep sleeping apps and you try to figure out what is the difference. So when you tap on sleeping apps, you see these apps won't run in the background, they may not receive updates or send notifications. Then you take a look at deep sleeping apps and it states deep sleeping apps will never run in the background, they'll only work when you open them. So first off, let's go back into the main portion of the phone. Let me show you where this setting is, and then we'll talk about what sleeping apps do to your cell phone, what is the benefit, and then I'll explain the difference between the two. So first off, you want to go inside of your settings, scroll all the way down. You're going to go inside of your device care. Now inside of device care, click on battery, and then go to app power management. Now really the benefit of using or putting apps to sleep is that they won't run in the background. So if you have any application always getting notifications, always trying to update, always just running, meaning it's taking battery life. So you can put those things to sleep. You can also put unused apps to sleep. So if you have an application that you haven't used for quite a while, it'll actually automatically put it in there for you. Now they always put it into the sleeping app category. Now the sleeping app category could mean that it's automatically updated or added. Let's say that I put one in here to sleep. So if UltraPix was using some of my battery, and again, this one is sleeping. So I'll show you the difference between deep sleep. Now sleeping is where it won't run until you open it up. So now that you actually open up the application of UltraPix, let's say that I go through here. This is the application I use to download wallpapers for my S20. Let's say that we go inside of here. I want to maybe save this one. So it basically shows that I used this application. So now that we just got done using this application, let's say that we go back, we close all of it, we go back into the settings. When we go into device care, we go back into battery, and then we go back into the sleeping apps, you will not see that application there. That's because I opened it, I used it, it basically reopened that application again. It's kind of running in the background. If anything needs to pull back in, that is what a sleeping app is. But when you go into deep sleep applications, these are the applications that will never run in the background until you open it. And then once you close it, it'll actually still be in deep sleep mode. So for example, I put in Instagram and Twitter. The reason why is because these are two applications that I don't need a notification for me to open them. Those are two applications that I just kind of open nonchalantly, really anytime I want to. So let's say I go into Twitter, there's my notifications. Once I go to notifications, I'd be able to respond to people, answer questions, just post things like that. And then let's say that we go inside of Instagram. I mean, pretty much the exact same thing is right there. If I wanted to read or respond or post, I'd be able to do that. And then when I go through, I close out, it's right back into deep sleep. It's just a way that I know for a fact that I'm going to go into two applications on a daily basis. And so I don't need to have a notification to remind me to go inside of there. So again, we go back inside, we go in battery, app power management. When we go back inside of here, both of those are still sitting there. That's just kind of my personal preference. You can just go through, you can add in your own application. So some people, just for health reasons, might put in Facebook. So if you're somebody who is addicted to Facebook, you're always looking at it, even though you can put a timer on it. And maybe Facebook is one that you always get notifications for. You can put it into deep sleeping mode and then open up Facebook, and then you're right back into your world without having to have all these notifications and without it trying to drain your battery and everything else. So that's really the two big differences and also the reason to use it. So when you go inside your battery, when you go inside of your battery usage, kind of go down here and try to see what is taking up the most battery that maybe you can put to sleep. So for example, Facebook was using 1.3%. It's been in the active state, so I've been in it for 13 minutes, background for 5 minutes. You don't want to do anything that's your settings of your Samsung phone. So Samsung One UI, that is your UI. That's your user interface. Don't put that thing to sleep. You got Toon Blast, so that's a game that I always play. If you don't want to get notifications from Pokemon Go, you can see background was actually quite a bit. But then again, I do have this linked up to where if I'm walking, it'll calculate all of my steps for me. So you do want to have that one, at least if you play that game, and it doesn't really take up a lot of battery. You can see it's still at 1.1. So you kind of get what you're able to do. Any application that you notice takes up a lot of your battery, it's draining. Maybe you might get a notification letting you know, hey, this is draining your battery, put it to sleep. That is the difference. So sleeping apps will reopen back up once they are opened, and when you use them, then they go back into the normal active state. Deep sleeping applications is a way that it goes right back into deep sleeping once you close out of everything. So again, I would put deep sleeping applications into the ones that you would use on a daily basis that you always open. So you're not really missing anything. You just might be missing a notification from somebody commenting on your photo from 20 minutes ago, but no big deal. But that is the difference between sleeping and deep sleeping apps. Hopefully this has helped you out, kind of cleared up the air right there. If you've never noticed that deep sleeping apps was sitting there, now you actually know. So if you are running on Samsung One UI 2.1, go inside of the app power management, you can see deep sleeping applications, you can throw it inside of there. And then you got this one right here where it says apps that won't be put to sleep. This is the complete opposite of what we're talking about. You can put applications inside of there if you want to as well. But other than that, I hope you guys have liked this video. If you guys did, please give this thing a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to hit on subscribe right over here in the very bottom left hand side. And if you like this video, then more than likely you'll also like this video. And I'll see you guys later.